What's up, comic fans, and it's time for that new comic book day haul plus review. So we'll go over the books. We got a few 50 centers. We got books from this week. We'll go through them. I'll give you a little tiny tidbit about what's in those books, and we'll do it all right after this.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Welcome back. All right, let's get into the books. First off, we're going to start with those 50 centers. All right, let's get into the 50 centers. First off, from legendary artist Mike Grell, we got Shaman Steers. So I know a lot of people like Mike Grell. When I was at Heroes Con last year, I saw some commissioned pieces, so that's cool. It's a nice foil cover too. It's foily. Alright. Next up, we have The Max, number 2, issue 2. Alright. Grab that, because who doesn't like The Max? I don't think this one is a wraparound cover, but Image back in the day used to do wraparound covers. No, not this one. Alright. But next up, we have Sam Keith, Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld. We have Darker Image. So we got 2 Sam Keith books in a row. And when I do the 50 centers, I try to keep them within like the same motif, same category. So these are more Image books. These are all Image books, all indie Image books. Man, cool book. Cool book. And you got the Max right on the cover again. And last but not least, we have Youngblood Zero. And this is definitely a wraparound cover. So cool. This is Jim Lee. Not Jim Lee, excuse me. Liefeld. Rob Liefeld. Did I say Jim Lee? Rob Liefeld. Alright. So those were the 50 centers. Pretty cool. All Image books. Got these from a different location than where I normally get my 50 centers. Selection wasn't as great, but we pulled some of those gems out of there. Some of those Image 90s goodness. Alright, let's get into the comics from this week. And starting off the batch of comics from this week, we got DC, we got Catwoman 9 Lives Part 5. Coming into this book, I believe she's lost 5 of the 9 lives that have been granted to her by a cat god. And that's, she's doing these missions that she never would have done because she was scared to die. Now she's got extra lives, so she's like, let me do these missions that I've always wanted to do. Kind of her wish list, I guess, getting them off her bucket list. But she's doing some good things and some bad things. Most of them are selfish, for selfish reasons. Like, she wants something out of it, but she does end up saving some lives and stuff like that. And the end of this episode is setting up an arc where, like, everybody she's screwing over, I think, is going to join together to get back at her. So good thing she has a couple extra lives. I think she has 4 lives left. Possibly only 3. Moving on to the next book, we have Superman number 12, A Race Against Time, to save Lex Luthor. Who thought Superman would want to save Lex Luthor? But in this book, if you know, they got Supercorpse, and Superman really pays attention to running the business, the lab side, because he can't go out and fight. There's a lot of kryptonite dust in the air, and Lex Luthor is the one who goes out and he plays soups and saves the day. Alright. Yeah, basically, make a long story short, a bunch of kryptonite is released in Metropolis, and kryptonite is not theoretically deadly in small doses to humans, but when it's weaponized and aerialized, yeah, it can be deadly. And so Superman and Lex Luthor go to save the day over Professor Farm and Dr. Graff. All right, we're going to switch gears. We're going to go to Marvel. We have Web of Spider-Man number 1. This is a one-shot. $7.99 price tag, I believe. Yep, $8 for this. It kind of hits most of the Spider-Man books out today, including books like ASM. What else was in there? Miles, right? So Spider-Man Miles Morales was in there. Gwen, Ghost Spider, they're in there. So it's just hitting all the books. It's kind of giving us a preview of what's to happen this year. This could have easily been one of those free books on the counter at your LCS that, kind of told these stories. I think they did one similarly for the whole, not Bloodline, but the whole next series with the vampires and stuff coming out. They did one of those freebies. So they didn't have to charge you $8 for us to find out what's happening the rest of the year in Spider-Man. That's my biggest complaint. This could have easily been one of those free preview books. With that said, Greg Capullo cover. It's pretty cool. A lot of webbing. The stories inside were previews, little tidbits, so we kind of know what's going to happen with Spider-Man and the rest of the Spider crew coming in. Miles Morales, Peter, Gwen, the Gold Goblin, all those guys. Anyway, it was alright. Next up, we have Star Wars: The High Republic number 5. Kev Trennis was an apprentice or a Padawan underneath her master Skier. Skier's kind of got this syndrome going on. I guess you can relate it to PTSD after the Starlight Beacon blows up. She goes to save him. Nearly gets sliced in half. This dude is a giant, lizard man who's just jacked, but manages to kind of get his mind right. We'll see where the rest of this story goes. We also have an appearance from a character who was in the second arc of the High Republic, which was kind of removed from this first and third arc, happened in two totally different places with different cast of characters. So now we're kind of seeing these characters mix and merge, if you will. So that's pretty cool. There's some passage of time because the character definitely looks older in this book. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool to see them, mixing all the Star Wars High Republic characters. Next up, we got Vengeance of the Moon Knight number 3, Jed McKay. You still got this Moon Knight who nobody knows. Doesn't really appear in this issue, okay? This one is more a soldier sitting on the doctor's couch, psychiatrist's couch, kind of, doing therapy, explaining what's happening. And this guy is just beating up criminals left and right, even criminals who haven't committed crimes in a long time, just beating them up because they were a criminal. So this new Moon Knight is really agitating the criminal underground, even the ones who aren't currently involved in crime. And so it's leading to a lot of these criminals reacting back, lashing back, just doing things to try to draw this Moon Knight out to seek some revenge. Doesn't quite work out that way, and so we have a big gunfight, etc., etc. And this guy's still not around. But now the Midnight mission is looking for this new Moon Knight. They're being more proactive now. So you've got a lot of people actually mad at this new Moon Knight. We'll see if he pops up in issue 4 and what goes down. All right, we're gonna go into the indies. Pretty good week for indies. First off, we have the Holy Roller number 5. Really cool. First time we see him in this suit. Don't know how he got in the suit, because one second he's sitting in the crowd, and then the next second he's getting pummeled and he pops up in the suit. I guess we'll find out later. Maybe he was just carrying the helmet and was, fully clothed with the other stuff. I don't know. Anyway, it's this guy, the Holy Roller, versus a whole neo-Nazi faction. So it's pretty cool. It's funny because it's Andy Samberg is the lead writer on this. Well, he is a writer on it with Rick Remender. But it's a fun book. All right, next up, we have Man's Best number 1. This is the unlockable, I think it's unlockable 1 per store variant. I think you just had to order some books and you got this. Yeah, I paid $7 for it, so I think I paid an extra $3 for this 1 per store cover. Basically, these pets are being trained on a space mission. They were just like comfort pets, I guess. They were just there to, you know, make the doctor feel better about herself. But during this long trip, she ends up training them. And, you know, this space shuttle crash, etc. These pets are now trained, and they're going to go find their master. And that's where the good stuff happens. As you can see, they're kind of wearing these mechanical suits, mech suits, if you will. So you have these pets in mech suits looking for their master and the captain of the ship. And, you know, they definitely fight a robot, and they win. Otherwise, the story would be over after issue 1. But it's a fun read. It's really good. Next up, we have Spawn 351. Spawn is still without his power, so are a lot of other people. Heaven and hell, anybody on Earth really doesn't have their powers, but Spawn still finds a way to kick butt. Pretty dope cover. It's got like a Spawn axe and a huge sword. So, good job, Spawn. Keep it on. Vampires. Vampires play a very big role in this book. So, if you haven't been reading it, 351 is a good place to jump on. 350 is even better. So, if you like vampires and Spawn and sword fighting and stuff like that, that's pretty cool. Last but not least, we have Cobra Commander number 3. Cobra and Nemesis Enforcer versus the Dreadnoughts. That's the best way to put it. Cobra is a sadistic son of a gun. He takes a lot of punishment in this book at the hands of the Dreadnoughts and somehow still comes out on top. Mostly because he has Nemesis Enforcer, who's not playing any games anymore. So Cobra has like a beacon on him. He turns it off, so Nemesis Enforcer kind of loses him. And then when Cobra gets what he needs, he turns it back on. Nemesis Enforcer finds him, and then they just kick butt. Or basically, Nemesis Enforcer kicks a lot of butt. That dude is scary. Anyway, comic fans, that's my new comic book day haul plus review. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It was a good week for comics. So do what you do. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to get ready for next week's books. If you like the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Go ahead and throw me a thumbs up and comment down below. All right, I'll see you next week. Peace. Deuces. All right, let's get into the comics. So, rewind. I picked up some ratio variants. We're gonna get it on. Ah, crap.